We continue to honor the life and service of Arizona's beloved Senator John McCain. Priscilla Casper is live in Phoenix right now for services honoring the late Senator John McCain. We will get to Priscilla at the North Phoenix Baptist Church in just a bit. But first, let's recap on the events of yesterday's. Thousands packed the Capitol building to honor the life and legacy of Senator John McCain. The McCain family held a private ceremony yesterday morning and said their goodbyes as his casket before the public was allowed inside. Over 1,000 people waited in line to pay their respects in the rotunda of the state Capitol building. The Arizona Department of Public Safety says the wait took about an hour to get through. More than 20 people were treated for heat-related illnesses, including 2 who were taken to the hospital. Despite that, those who came to the Capitol say honoring the senator was not something they wanted to do. It was something they needed to do.
We owe each other our respect, so long as our character merits respect, and as long as we share for all of our differences, for all the rancorous debates that enliven and sometimes demean our politics.
When he believed in something, he just didn't back down.
What have we to lose by trying to work together?
That day that he took that vote, when he gave a thumbs down, I think that really solidified the idea that you have to be concerned about the people, not so much the politics.
Before I leave, I'd like to see our politics begin to return to the purposes and practices that distinguish our history from the history of other nations. I'd like to see us recover our sense that we are more alike than different.
I'm a registered Democrat, but I voted for Senator McCain on a number of occasions just because he always seemed to vote for the right thing rather than to take the party line.
I came from Sudan. I came as a refugee to United States. Because he's a nice guy.
I want to smell the rose-scented breeze and feel the sun on my shoulders. I want to watch the hawks hunt from the sycamore, and then take my leave, bound for a place near my old friend Chuck Larson in the cemetery on the Severn, back where it began.
How should we remember John McCain?
Well, by being kinder to people, to recognizing the humanity in our opponents, and recognize that we're all Americans. We all have far more in common than we do, differences.
And now for the second and final day, Arizonans can pay their respects to the late Senator John McCain. His body was moved this morning to the North Phoenix Baptist Church. Hundreds of people lined the streets outside that church. They wanted to pay respects to a man who loved and fought for his country. News 4 Tucson's Ali Potter was able to get reaction.
Arizonans turned out here at North Phoenix Baptist Church to pay their respects to late Senator John McCain. They say his legacy will live on.
He's done so much for our country. He's been such an example, and I did it to honor his service to our country and the other people who serve our country. It's like we're really going to miss his type. He was an American hero, and he stood for all of the ideals that I think of as ideals, and we'll just miss him.
I cry because of emotion. We don't know if here in Arizona we will have other men who care for refugees and immigrants like how John McCain was. We pray and we ask God to give more people have his heart in his office to care for people and care for country.
The former senator was 81 years old. He'll be buried in Annapolis, Maryland. Many people here today said that his spirit will always be here in Arizona. Reporting in Phoenix, Ali Potter, News 4 Tucson.
And family, friends, state and local leaders will be joined by about 1,000 members of the public for today's memorial service at the church. News 4 Tucson's Priscilla Casper is there now with details on today's services. Good afternoon, Priscilla.
Good afternoon, Angelique. It was a beautiful memorial service to honor the late Senator John McCain. If you take a look, I mean, a lot of people still leaving, like you said, over 1,000 public people came to watch this memorial service. I got a chance to grab some people and speak with them and ask them about how the mood was inside during the whole ceremony. A lot of people said there were some chuckles, some bigger laughs, just talking about, you know, McCain's humor and how he looked at life, and then other times is a little more serious and emotional. And, you know, one couple told me that when they played Frank Sinatra's My Way, this woman told me there was not a dry eye in the room. Everyone was very tearful because she said that McCain always did it his way. Arizona Cardinal Larry Fitzgerald, he made a comparison about McCain. He said that there are so many differences between the two of us and it didn't matter. Former Vice President Joe Biden spoke. He talked about McCain's history in the military, and Biden would always, he said that he would always talk about traveling all over the world with Senator John McCain. They would sit on the plane, and he said that every night when people were asleep, they would just sit and talk about life, talk about politics. He even opened his speech saying that he's a Democrat and he loves John McCain. He says he thought McCain was like a brother to him and trusted him with his life. And for those to remember some and remember how they lived, not how they died. A beautiful song during the ceremony. The song called Arizona was performed. I spoke with Governor Doug Ducey yesterday, who said when he was speaking during that private ceremony yesterday, he said Senator McCain was Arizona. So the fact that they played that song Arizona was a tribute to him and what he did for the state of Arizona. And again, that last song as everyone was leaving the church, My Way by Frank Sinatra, again, not a dry eye in the room. Priscilla Casper reporting from Phoenix. Angelique.
Thank you for that, Priscilla. Well done out there. Meanwhile, right now, we want to show you here at Phoenix Airport that John McCain, the casket has now arrived for John McCain and family to now head over to Washington, D.C., where another ceremony will be taking place over there in Washington, where former President Barack Obama and George W. Bush are expected to make those eulogies.